Today I fucked up, inheriting my grandfather's dirty mind. TLDR, Grandpa is a bad man. Just happened at Easter dinner with the family. As a family we are pretty large clan spread throughout the state, so getting schedules to line up is almost impossible, but on big days like Easter and Christmas we make it happen. Anyways, we are all about to burst cause mom gets down on the cooking like feed the masses status. Everyone is just talking and catching up when grandma looks over to grandpa and lovingly asked, "Are you ready for a cookie?" Grandpa's face turns instant red. "I need to get my hearing checked. I thought you asked something else." No one really bats an eye at this and conversation continues. I'm sitting here like, why that reaction to being asked if he wants a cookie? What word did he think she said? Words are running through my head trying to decode this situation when it hit me. He thought she asked him for a quickie at the dinner table. I start laughing my ass off while trying to finish what's in my mouth so I don't die. The man looks over and excitedly proclaims, "Op, got it, lololol. Love this man, he's one sick puppy." Happy Easter all from my clan of miscreants to yours. To be honest, I'd owe it to be Nuki. Your Gramps is the best. Yup, you made me laugh. Thanks for that. So did they smash? Question mark. They are saving it for the next family event. Thank you for asking the real questions here, also the only question so far. I thought it was, "Are you ready for that coochie?" Today I fucked up by being naive and being a bad employee. Obligatory, this didn't happen today, but when I was around 17-18, around 12 years ago, I had just moved away from home to go to university. I found myself a weekend job in a bakery that has cafes attached, in the UK. I worked in the cafe. This was my first real job. I had done bits and pieces here and there, but this was my first proper job with a contract and a uniform. And, like I say in the title, I was naive. I thought because I was told when I should go on my break, that someone would come and tell me when I had to go back to work. And I thought that because no one came to get me, I must not be late finishing my break. Spoiler alert, I was, by only a couple of minutes, but I was late. I also had an undiagnosed medical condition which turned out to be irritable bowel syndrome, from now on referred to as IBS. Because of this IBS, I didn't always get much warning when I needed the toilet, and sometimes had to run to the toilet at short notice. And because it wasn't diagnosed at the time, it wasn't on my employment file, and therefore I got in trouble for semi-frequent, unscheduled toilet trips. Thankfully I now have a diagnosis which negates this issue. They thought I was trying to avoid work, which I get. It's safe to say, I got fired. It's the only job I've ever been fired from. I learned from this job. So sorry to my boss, Valerie, not real name. I'm sorry I was a bad employee. I've learned and I'm better now, I promise. TL, doctor, was naive about what having a real job was like, was a bad employee, and got fired. You weren't a bad employee. If your boss were the decent sort, she would have taken an interest in your issues and maybe gotten you a sooner diagnosis, or, at the very least, groomed you to be a better employee. Who knows? Maybe during that grooming, your boss might have realized you had a legitimate health condition. At least you weren't sneaking off to vape like some of my former co-workers. Construction. I don't need to sneak off to smoke. I just say I'm taking 5, be back soon. Foreman and leads don't care. I'm taking 10 right now. As long as you get your work done and jobs on time, no one cares. You're welcome. I'm also a supervisor of a small department, and I make it a point to make sure my employees are well. If I notice uncharacteristic behavior, I talk to them and help them work out whatever issues they may be having. Case in point, one of my older employees now has a great new ob/gyne because her occasional absences at a certain time of the month led me to suggest she see a doctor. After a conversation, we determined that her then current ob was a flake. I urged her to seek a new one, and she did, and she couldn't be happier. Now that you know your issues, don't let any future bosses push you around. Life lessons. IBS is a bitch. It creates a harsh workplace at times. The only time you look out is if you get a boss with bowel issues of their own. Exclamation mark. I feel this. My last 2 jobs were a nightmare, going multiple times a day, pain, other health issues from the amount I had to run to the loo. But my current employers are great, and guess what, I hardly have any issues with it while I'm working. Today I fucked up by accidentally getting high. Writing this while still quite high, in total panic mode because I can't help but to feel paranoid. I was working a small event tonight where everything was infused with weed. I avoided the food and everything else literally all night. But then I heard that they were only infusing some of the pizzas they had. I skipped the first few rounds of pizza, and then when it was my turn to eat, I ate the 2 slices that were on the tray, and it wasn't until I was done my second slice that someone mentioned, "Oh, no more infused ones, those were the last ones," and my heart sunk. I forgot what I was writing. I dislike this feeling. Weed makes me paranoid and extra aware of my hands and surroundings. Too long didn't read, ate some weed-infused pizza without knowing and got high as a kite. You'll be fine. Lamau, this is hilarious. What cracked me up was when they said they're more aware of their hands. LMFAO. When the hell can I find myself one of these parties? ? I would also like to know the answer to this question. You'll be fine, just find something to occupy yourself with instead of letting it get to you. You'll wake up not high and everything will be all Gucci. I occupied myself with worrying about how high I was. It was terrible. My partner found it hilarious and wouldn't stop laughing. It's a bit funny now that I slept it off, but I definitely didn't have fun last night when I realized how bad my mistake was. Just enjoy it, don't go near moving traffic, and know that there's nothing you can do but ride it out. Throw on some Pink Floyd, lie down, and just chill. That is the problem, you can't chill if you get paranoid from weed. I get that a lot, so stopped smoking. Your thoughts are racing, but in a bad, anxiety-filled way. All you want it is to stop. The only way to make it bearable for me is to be alone. Other people around make it a lot worse. At the beginning I had some good times smoking, but it led me to life filled with paranoia that lasted for years. Still get mild flashbacks of that sometimes. No one told us when we were young about these things. Pot was just evil, but everyone around me was smoking, so did I. I had to work it out and learn how dangerous it might be for mental health the hard way. Just telling kids weed is bad and criminalize is not an answer. Legalization makes it so much more open for discussion and allow proper education. P.